Interest rates. Holy. Now, most of you guys have probably heard in the news that interest rates continue to rise. And yesterday, the Feds raised the interest rates 0.75%. So there's definitely a lot of talk. I get a ton of questions from potential buyers and sellers. You know, what's going on in the current market? Is it a good time to buy while the rate is so high? And it's a lot of valid questions that I get. You know, should I have to pay, higher monthly payment? Can I afford that? So I wanted to give you my advice as a professional and my take on homeownership and interest rates. So if you're wondering if now is a good time to buy, or should you wait for rates to change, maybe come down, maybe next spring or a year from now or 2 years from now, you want to wait and do that. That's a very common thought process, and it's very common to have those thoughts and to have those questions. And my advice to you is, if you're ready to buy and you're able to buy and you can afford the monthly payment and there's a house in your budget that you like, don't worry about the rate right now. Buy the home. And the reason why I say that is, if you're going to play the rate game, you can lose. You can win, you can lose. People have bought at low rates, people have bought at high rates. They are what they are, but it really comes down to affordability. If you can afford the monthly payment, then get the home that you want and get it when you're ready to do it. If that's now, if that's in the spring, whatever that time frame is for you, don't worry about the rate. And you might want to think, well, my payment's going to be so much higher. You're right, but if you can afford that payment and you find a house you like, then you're okay. Don't worry about the rate. Because here's the other thought of it. As a homeowner, you're not playing the real estate game. You're not playing the investment game. You're playing the long game. You're owning a home to buy it, to live in it. So buying a home now, or let's say waiting 2 years to buy a home for these rates to change, they could go up higher, even higher, and push you further out. So there's always that risk. Yes, they could come down. Everything you do, there's risk reward with. But if let's say you're trying to wait and it's 2 years before rates come down to something like 4%, or 5% or something, you've now lost 2 years of equity building in your home, where you could be paying your monthly mortgage, and every time you make that payment over and over the course of years, you build equity in the home. And so you could be missing out on 2 years worth of equity building while simultaneously paying someone else's mortgage payment for them through rent, which is going to be higher for the same property that you're paying. If right now it might be similar, So that is definitely something to consider. So if you have the down payment and you can afford the home, then my advice to you is buy the house, date the rate. Because if you can afford it now and you're going to be okay, then you can refinance in a year, in 2 years, when rates go down. So your monthly payment will now be even lower than it was already, and you could continue to pay the same amount and start really putting in money, equity into your home through principal pay offs, and through principal payments. So just some things to consider. There's a lot of nuances, and that's something that I provide as a service, and that it means a lot to me. Is if you have questions, I'm not here to talk you into buying a home or out of buying a home. I'm here to help you work through the steps to see if it's right for you to buy a home, and then helping you get to that process and go through that process and become a homeowner. So guys, if you have any questions about real estate, about the interest rates, if now's a good time to buy, whatever your questions are, comment below, message me, however you need to get a hold of me. I'd be happy to tell you. I could do another video, all sorts of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Lewis with the Lewis Real Estate Group. Have a great day.